Every shift, every weekend, every long Saturday with no sleep. If you ever saw that bright red Jollibee mascot dancing in front of a branch in Los Angeles, waving happily at cars passing by, chances are it was a college student named Adrian. He was 20 years old, skinny, and always tired from balancing school, part-time work, and chores at home. But no matter how exhausted he was, when he zipped that big, smiling red suit and slipped the giant bee head over his own, something inside him lit up. He danced differently. He moved with joy. He made kids laugh. He made people stop and take photos. And he made that branch located in a busy Filipino neighborhood stand out. To the customers, he was just the beloved mascot. To management, he was replaceable. And to Adrian, it was more than a job. It was survival. He was sending money home to the Philippines. His mom had kidney problems, and dialysis wasn't cheap. His little sister still had school fees. Their old house needed repairs. Every dollar mattered. Every shift was a lifeline, which is why it hurt so much the day everything fell apart. It happened on a hot Sunday afternoon. The store was crowded, the drive-thru was full, and kids lined up to take pictures with the mascot. Adrian was outside, dancing even though sweat poured down his back inside the foam costume. He was getting tired, but he kept going. A manager named Blake walked out, holding a clipboard and a frown like he got paid extra to maintain it. "Hey you, B-boy," he said. Inside the costume, Adrian blinked. He lifted a hand and pointed to himself. "Yeah, you, come over here." Adrian waddled over, the costume heavy, every step squeaking. He lifted the mascot head slightly so he could hear better. Blake looked annoyed. "Don't lift the head. Customers can see you. You're supposed to be a mascot, not a person. Keep the magic alive." Adrian lowered the head again, embarrassed. Blake continued, not even bothering to lower his voice. "Listen, some of the staff say you're too enthusiastic. You make people expect you every weekend. This job isn't supposed to make you a star. You dance too much. You draw attention. It's distracting." Inside the suit, Adrian's heart dropped. Distracting? He made kids happy. He made people smile. He brought customers in, but he couldn't speak. Mascots weren't allowed to talk outside the designated area. Company policy. Instead, he gave a small thumbs up, hoping the conversation would end. Blake sighed. "Anyway, corporate says we need to cut hours. So we're letting you go. Your last day is today. Just finish this shift. Then return the costume." It felt like someone punched him. Inside that giant smiling bee head, Adrian closed his eyes. He felt his throat tighten. He felt his hands shake, but all he could do was nod. Blake wasn't even done. And hey, good luck with your future. Maybe you'll find something more fitting. He smirked. Like children's parties or clown work. He walked away laughing. Inside the suit, Adrian stood there frozen. At some point, a little girl tugged on his glove and shouted, "Jollibee, picture." So he moved, he posed, he danced. He did everything as if nothing had happened. He performed until his legs hurt, until the tears dried inside the helmet, until he gave that smiling red bee one final wave at the end of the shift. Then, quietly, without drama, he took off the costume, folded the gloves, and handed them to Blake. Blake didn't even look up. Leave it on the chair, and that was it. Adrian walked home silently, backpack heavy, chest hurting. That night, he cried alone. Not just because he lost a job, but because he lost something that brought him joy. Something that connected him to home. Something that reminded him of happier times in the Philippines. The next morning, he still had to go to school. Still had bills, still had responsibilities. But something changed inside him. He promised himself this: no one will ever look down on me again. He studied harder, took extra certification courses, applied for better jobs, worked in different restaurants, studied restaurant management at night, spent weekends in seminars, saved every cent, observed how businesses ran from the kitchen operations to customer service to how managers treated workers. He learned everything. Years passed quietly. He graduated, got promoted, worked as shift lead, then supervisor, then assistant manager in a different fast food chain, gained experience, built a reputation. People liked him because he was kind, because he understood people, because he remembered what it felt like to be ignored. One evening, while cleaning the store office, he saw a job posting, Restaurant Manager, Jollibee Los Angeles Branch. His heart stopped. It was the same branch where he once danced as the mascot. He stared at the listing for a long time. Then, slowly, he smiled. He applied. He expected nothing. But 2 weeks later, Jollibee Corporate emailed him back. We would like to interview you for the managerial position. The interview was tough. Corporate asked everything about leadership, crisis management, store profitability, customer service, and staff morale. At one point, the regional manager asked, "What made you want to apply for this branch specifically?" Adrian looked down, inhaled deeply, and replied with honesty. "I used to work here, as the mascot. I was fired. It hurt, but instead of giving up, I worked harder. Now I want to come back not for revenge, but because this place taught me my greatest lesson. No one should be treated like they were small." Oh, the regional manager stared at him for a moment, then nodded slowly. 3 days later, he received the email. "Congratulations. You have been selected as the new store manager." He sat in silence for nearly a full minute before he began to cry. Not because of the title, not because of the pay, but because he knew Mama would be proud. His first day as manager was surreal. The staff greeted him politely. Some were new. Some were still the same workers from years ago. And one of them, still wearing the same annoyed look, was Blake. Blake froze when he saw him. Do I know you?" Adrian smiled kindly. "We've met before." "Years ago." Blake squinted. "Where?" Adrian hesitated, then said it gently. "I was the bee." The room went silent. Blake's face drained of color. "Oh," he muttered. "That was a long time ago." "It's okay," Adrian replied. "We all grow." And that was all he said, because kindness was the real revenge. But inside the staff room, the older workers whispered, "That's him, the mascot they fired. He's the new boss? Wow. He deserved it. That kid worked harder than anyone." Adrian didn't act superior. He didn't give Blake a hard time. He didn't seek payback. Instead, he helped him, trained him, guided him with patience. And people noticed. Under Adrian's leadership, the branch changed. Customers came more often. Service improved. Staff smiled more. Problems got fixed faster. One day, a corporate inspector visited and said, "This store has the best team morale in the entire district. What did you do?" Adrian simply replied, "I treated them the way I wished I was treated." One Saturday afternoon, the store held a children's event. Parents brought their kids, balloons were everywhere, and music boomed through the speakers. Everyone was excited because the Jollibee mascot was coming. But the staff mascot worker called in sick. Panic hit. Kids were waiting. The event was about to fail. Adrian looked at the empty mascot costume sitting in the corner. He smiled. "Bring me the suit," the staff gasped. "Sir, you're the manager. It's okay." Once a bee, always a bee. He slipped into the costume easily, like it was waiting for him all these years. When he stepped out, the crowd erupted in cheers. Kids screamed, "Jollibee!" Parents clapped. The staff stared in awe. Blake watched him quietly from the back, guilt written all over his face. After the event, when Adrian took off the head, sweaty and smiling, Blake approached him. "Hey," Blake said softly. "Listen, I owe you an apology." "You don't owe me anything," Adrian replied. "No," Blake insisted. "I do. I was awful to you. I didn't see your hard work. I judged you. And seeing you now, I'm ashamed. You deserve everything you have." Adrian nodded kindly. "We all make mistakes," he said. "What matters is what we do moving forward." Blake swallowed hard. "Thank you. Truly." And for the first time in a long time, Blake felt respect for someone else, deep, genuine respect. The following year, the branch achieved record sales. Corporate awarded Adrian Manager of the Year. Customers wrote letters praising the crew. Staff turnover went down. Everyone felt at home. One day, during a corporate event, someone asked Adrian to give a short speech. He stepped up to the microphone and looked at the crowd. "I used to wear the mascot suit," he began. Not everyone respected that job. Some laughed. Some ignored me. But that costume taught me the most important lesson of my life. No role is small. Everyone deserves dignity. Everyone deserves kindness. And leadership starts with remembering that. Applause erupted. By then, Adrian wasn't just managing a store, he was shaping its culture, inspiring future workers, reminding everyone that even the smallest job can lead to the biggest transformation. Years later, the old costume still sat in the back storage room. Some workers swore they saw Adrian smile at it every now and then, because once upon a time, they fired the Jollibee mascot.
But what they didn't know,
what they could never have imagined, was that the bee would return, not with anger, but with leadership, not with revenge, but with compassion. He came back not as the character in the costume, but as the man running the whole store. And every time a kid waved at the mascot, every time a customer smiled, every time the doors opened and the smell of fried chicken floated out, he remembered those days of dancing in silence, fighting tears inside a heavy helmet. And he whispered to himself, "Para es a pangarap. Para kay mama." Because in the end, the real victory wasn't the job. It was the journey, the kindness, the growth, the quiet redemption. The boy they once laughed at had become the man everyone looked up to.